Hello. Hello.
Hello, this is Michael Fitzsimons from the University of Chicago for GDC.
Hi, Michael. This is Anu.
Hi, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just trying to get used to this new conference system. I haven't used ReadyTalk before.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Anu.
Hi. I'm not sure that.
We cannot hear you.
Hey, Hua.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but the voice is low though. Okay.
Let me see if I can make that a little bit better.
It's better now.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. If we can just wait for a couple minutes for Jeff to call
Okay.
in. I'm just going to email. Hello.
Hey, this is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. We were waiting for you to call in before we got started. So on the call, we have Ian, Jeff, Jing, Justin, Michael, Sharon, Stephen, Todd, Hua, and Hua in the room with you. Who do you have?
Bharat, Jin, and Ergen.
Okay. Can we maybe quickly have a round of introductions? My name is Anu, and I am the technical project manager for BioCaddy. So I've been managing the core development team, which actually has been instrumental in developing DataMed, which is a data discovery index. Why you want to just briefly introduce?
Sure. Hi, my name is Hua Shu. I'm a professor at Biomedical Informatics at the University of Texas at Houston, and I'm leading this core development team together with Jeff.
Siraj, Jing, and Alvin?
Hi, my name is Frat. I'm the software developer in the project.
Hi, this is Anshu.
Hello, this is Argin Sorisal. I'm
assistant professor in Dr. Shu's group, and I'm primarily working on terminology-related issues.
Hello, this is Jean. I'm the software of the project. Thank you.
Jeff, do you want to go next?
Yeah, Jeffrey Greta from University of California, San Diego. Involved with Hua in the core development, and have been mainly focusing on the back end infrastructure.
Ian?
Yep, so I'm Ian Four. I'm the science officer on the BioCaddy Award, as well as being, my day job being at NCI in CBIT.
Ashish, if you could just introduce yourself. Oh, I'm not sure he has called in yet. So maybe Justin?
Yeah, hi, I'm Justin Kirby at Frederick National Lab, helping manage the Cancer Imaging Archive.
Right. Michael?
Hi, this is Michael Fitzsimons, the University of Chicago. I'm the User Services Manager for the GDC project.
Sharon?
Hi, I'm Sharon Deheen. I'm the Technical Project Manager for the GDC. I'm with Frederick National Labs. Thanks.
Susan? Okay. Nansu? Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay. This is Nansu, and I'm a postdoc researcher on the DBMI UCSD, and I'm working for metadata injection in BioCaddy project. So specifically, I'm working on extracting metadata from different repositories and matching to DATS metadata model. So that's my work.
So did we leave out anybody? I guess
Ashish Sharma from Emory University. I'm part of the TCIA team.
Okay, thank you. And then was there anybody else who didn't?
Yeah, this is Todd Peel from Frederick National Lab. I'll be working on some of NCI's upcoming data commons projects.
Okay, thank you for introducing yourself. So just to go with the agenda, we will go over a couple of action items from our last meeting. This is primarily, of course, for the BioCaddy team. And then we can start our discussion of why we are meeting. I guess most of you probably already had attended the prior meeting that we had, that Ian had arranged earlier. And I'm hoping we can pick up from where we left off last time. And also Ian had a couple of questions and clarifications that he wanted with regard to the BioCaddy workshop. So we can go over that. Jeff wanted to talk about the DAT service, and my assumption is that would take up the whole hour for today's meeting. Then we'll catch up with everybody else on the team with the NCE work that's ongoing right now. So for the action items, as I mentioned, we have the GDC and TCIA folks joining us today, so we'll have a discussion. Where Ian has present contact with Dr. Greg Faber, and we are trying to schedule a meeting with him to discuss our work with ENDAR. For Viper, and IRD. Natsu has already finished working on Viper, and he is working on IRD currently.
Yeah, and we're looking on the Viper on our side now, so.
Yeah, so that's going to be indexed shortly, right?
Correct.
So the next step for us is also for import. We need to link import to Geo and SRA at the sample level or the study level. So Jeff, I think we need to talk about this sometime, maybe in the next meeting.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
And with regard to IEDD, Philippe is still working with the IEDD folks to map their metadata, or at least part of their metadata, to DATS. Haven't had any updates from them yet. With ICPSR, we have to contact Matthew to set up a meeting with Matthew because we have already reviewed whatever documentation was sent to us by the ICPSR folks, and then we also need to follow up with them with regard to getting ICPSR dimensions or variables level data. For FitBear, we are also scheduling a call during the week that's next week. So as soon as the call is scheduled, I'll let the team know, and whoever can make it is welcome to join in. Jeff, I sent you the list of availability, so if you could let me know when you would be available for this call, that would be great.
Okay.
So to move on to the GDC and TCIA, in part of the reason why we are having this discussion is because the intent in DataMed is to search across GDC and TCIA, where a single participant has data that's distributed across different repositories. So the plan is to be able to link data sets and then link the individuals so that users who are looking for this data would be able to get this data from both, or at least know that this data is available from both the repositories. So I guess this is just what I put in. I mean, we can talk about this. So what would the CDP need to actually build this link into our ingestion pipeline? So, Jeff,
Anu, I wanted to comment on this. I mean, as the intent here. I mean, sure, the intent, you do have to know that, yes, there are participants in both data sets that have both imaging and genomic data. But the intent rather is more about the data set, to say, yes, there's a data set that has cases, that has data in two repositories. Now, you can derive that from knowing that the same participants are in both, but the search that one wants to see is that there is, for example, a glioblastoma data set, which we have genomic data and imaging for. Because at the moment, as we've seen, you can search and find there's a TCIA glioblastoma data set, other than the fact that I don't think that was indexed by disease, as we said earlier. And you can find that there's a GDC data set. There's nothing that tells you those are the same study with this, and that there are patients in common between them. So I think that's more the use case than the way it's kind of described here.
Hey, Ian, is the objective limited to identifying collections or projects where data is available at, like in my case, at TCIA and GDC. So it's at that project or collection level, right?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, one assumes that what one would then do is, having found that those exist, is you would access both of those. But accessing and working with the data at a detailed level is beyond the scope of what DataMed would do for you.
So here's a question. You won't have an idea on whether we have genomic data or so. So I'm just thinking out loud. Would it help if DataMed also had an option, or maybe it has an option to provide information that this repository is linked with that repository? In other words, like, we don't store genomic data and GDC doesn't store imaging data, but both TCI and GDC could conceivably, or at least I can speak for TCI, TCI could very easily add linkages to those places where we know data exists on the GDC side of things. So now, in the current mechanism, if I did this, I think it'd be wrong for DataMed to say, well, TCI stores genomic data. We don't. We just have linkages to genomic data for the subjects that we have images for. So is there this sort of an association that is stored that could be represented in DataMed? Because that would be the easiest place to propagate that information up onto you.
I mean, what you're saying sounds like a way of addressing this, but I was just highlighting, the level at which this, connectivity, this integration, the use cases that the integration is intended to address. But I'd leave that. Maybe others on the DataMed team want to describe the functionality in a different way. But that's, the outset, that was the problem we were trying to solve. It's the one that, I just highlighted, that there are apparently two different studies when really they're two very closely related studies in different repositories.
So, I mean, it sounds like there is then potential information within TCIA, and I'm not sure about GDC, that does have information on the specific links.
We can add that information, not in the current TCIA, but so we were just awarded a new U24 to sustain the TCIA environment, and one of our activities was sort of closer collaborations with the GDC. So I don't think it would be hard to, the work will have to be done, but I think it'll be possible to add links to the GDC for at least the TCGS subjects, because I think most of the overlap exists on the TCGS side only, and make use of the API from the GDC side of things, make use of the API to get access to that data. Similarly, I think we could potentially extend our APIs. That'll be a little more work to give one access to all images for a given patient in a given collection, and that would be the relevant API necessary for the GDC to say, here's how you can get the data. They can easily figure out which of our patients are also in their system. But that's on our individual ends, sort of propagating this information that we have data that is linked and stored. We have links to data stored in another repository. This needs to be propagated up to DataMed, and I don't know where in the data model that piece of information exists. I could think about one place where I can add that information. When we create when we create different DOIs or TCIA collections, I could add to let's say TCGA GBM. For the data site entry that I make for the TCGA GBM, I could add a GDC, the genomic DOI link, if there is one, as this data is related to that data. That information, that those relationships are captured, or there are placeholders to describe those relationships in the data site data model. So if similar relationships exist on DataMed, then that would be the right place to do it. This all assumes that GDC is also issuing DOIs for any new collections that they store and manage.
Yeah, Ashish, I just had a question. When you're integrating with the GDC API, are you integrating with the Harmonized portal or the Legacy Archive?
Right now, we're not integrated with GDC at all. That's one of the activities of this new grant.
Okay, because eventually we're going to be retiring the Legacy Archive. So just wanted.
Figured.
Yeah,
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and just to let you know, we are going to be moving the histology pathology images that we currently have. We're going to be making them available on the Harmonized portal, most likely in the March timeframe. Regarding DOIs, as you know, like GDC, we use UUIDs. We looked into using DOIs a long time ago, and since we use UUIDs for every single entity, the cost was just, it was just, something that, drove us to kind of, obviously we want the UUIDs, but there was a cost associated with the DOI. So at this point, we don't have any plans to support like DOIs within our system. We're continuing to use our UUIDs.
Okay. No, so the reason we went on the DOI route is, so we don't do DOIs at an individual image or an individual series level. We do DOIs at an individual collection or a project level. So in our case, that's about 60 or 70 DOIs for all the TCIA collections. I think the GDC number at that collection level would be the same. The biggest advantage that I see of a DOI is when somebody is using this data,